Hello, my name is Ioana Serban. I am Global Marketing and Communication Manager at Computaris. Thank you all for joining this webcast and Computaris 2-decade anniversary virtual event. I would like to approach today from an informative perspective several aspects related to the shift in human communication behavior in what is called Generation C era. I would also like to address its impact on telcos, who used to dominate the two-way interpersonal communication for decades and are now increasingly being challenged by disruptive players. Generation C rise due to the increasing adoption of social media, which has become the fastest growing and most popular activity on the internet and on mobile devices. Afterwards, I will quickly go through some use cases I randomly chose to see how are operators using social media today and if they strive to take advantage of its benefits, especially when it comes to customer engagement programs and long-term loyalty. I will start by saying a few words about Computaris. We are a BSS OSS system integrator with exclusive focus on the communication industry, mainly operating in Europe, North America and Southeast Asia. In the last 2 decades, we successfully delivered projects worldwide in the area of real-time rating and charging, messaging, provisioning, mediation, subscriber data management, mobile broadband data policy management, loyalty and churn management. In the last years, we've put an additional focus on addressing social media's impact on CSPs, and we came up with a solution that enables them to benefit of the great wealth of profiling information made available by Facebook by integrating in real time social media information with their OSS BSS elements such as billing, customer care, or BI. The future growth of the mobile communication industry is essentially linked to the development in other industries and to the way CSPs cope with the challenges coming from disruptive players and social media. You can see in this chart the number of services launched by operators worldwide in the second semester of 2011. Ovum tracked 638 total service launches in this period. 55% were launched as standalone products, and only 45% of them had partners involved. In the Generation C era, customer needs and business models are developing faster than ever before, moving away from single device, single SIM, single consumer-focused models to flexible models bundling devices, users, and services. By enabling and encouraging the federation of devices and content from many different sources, by choosing the right partnerships, operators will manage to differentiate themselves and create long-term value. So what is today's reality? The advent of true wireless broadband has opened up huge markets for smartphones, giving device manufacturers the opportunity to create entire ecosystems around these devices. Smartphone market penetration already overpassed 50% on the US market. The number of applications available is exponentially increasing and diversifying, and this, of course, brings many new challenges to operators. For example, when considering WhatsApp application, Dutch operator KPN suggested introducing a tax for applications that reduce operators' revenues and use a significant amount of bandwidth. This was still not approved due to the intervention of the Dutch government. As smartphones become more accessible, they are rewriting the rules of customer engagement for mobile carriers. If providers aren't quick to track, analyze and react to mobile users' wants and needs, customers will churn. In fact, NSN research shows that today 40% of all smartphone or application users are likely to churn within 1 year from signing a contract. Why? Because they can't configure or properly use their smartphone, and they associate smartphone problems with their host operator. Another reality is the fact that innovation programs launched by operators in the last year were not very efficient. While operators were fighting between each other, focusing on neutralizing competitors and maximizing profits, ARPUs were declining and OTT non-traditional players were rewriting human communication patterns. We woke up in the era of digital Darwinism over the night. What is digital Darwinism? It is the evolution of consumer behavior when society and technology evolves faster than our ability to adapt. This might sound funny, but several Harvard scientists have researched upon the onanistic compulsion to overshare personal information on social networking sites. It seems that for the human brain, Self-disclosure is as pleasurable as eating or getting intimate, all three providing a hit of dopamine, Mother Nature's feel-good chemical. Funny indeed, but this only restates the fact that, once discovered, consumers won't give away this pleasure that easily. We used to have 4 active bias generation from the age demographic perspective. An increasing number of consumers have already merged into a single one, the connected consumer generation. Of course, most customers still have the behavior patterns specific to their age, and operators should enhance their capability to track this. I will quickly describe these 4 generations. The baby boomers, the Woodstock generation. Confident, optimistic, workaholic, ideologues, big spenders. They like things that are relevant to their life stage, not age, for example, family related. They are less price sensitive if value is provided. They have a limited use of services beyond voice and SMS. The boomers are big online shoppers, and they are very comfortable with using email and messaging to stay in touch. If you reach a boomer, you can reach his entire follower base with product information and special offers. Generation X. Educated yet skeptical, more pessimistic and questioning, they are very price sensitive. They are not loyal to brands and companies. They need reassurance that their choices are sound, and they demand a high level of trust, being very easy to lose. They want to know the features of a product and also why each feature is needed. In terms of communication, they are not very easy to reach, and traditional marketing is no longer able to attract this demographic. Generation Y, the millennials. These are the children of the baby boomers. Wise, culturally diversified, tech-savvy, social-aware, and image-driven. They like to make personal statements, they live for today and spend big, always seeking for instant gratification. Marketers could appeal to their belief that they can make the future better, and marketing messages should be honest with humor, unique and creative, using a combination of online, offline, and word-of-mouth channels. Y generation finds enjoyment in shopping. They will tweet and text about special deals and about anything cool or uncool in real time. Major brands are already turning to millennial-owned communication means to get their brand message spread on the market. They cannot function socially without a mobile phone and have refined the art of multitasking to such an extent that they can text, surf the internet, download music, and chat to friends simultaneously. This is the most connected generation. They demand respect, they expect to have a voice, and that voice to be listened to. Generation Z. They face global terrorism, the aftermath of 9/11, school violence, economic uncertainty, recession, and the mortgage crisis. These are the new conservatives, embracing traditional beliefs, valuing family unit, authenticity, and realness. This is a global and diverse generation, who comes from a wider mix of backgrounds. They use multiple information sources, they are confident and very optimistic, being also the most imaginative generation. If you don't get their attention immediately, you never will. Like millennials, they also seek for instant gratification. Meet Generation C. All of us present in this call are Generation C. We love impartial content, we search for references and recommendations, we Google everything, we like smart applications, we like to synchronize, and we have a tendency to form active communities rather than remaining passive. We are the digital natives who turn to the internet naturally and extensively to do more and more of things. Age does not matter. It's all about the spirit and, of course, the devices we are using. As Trend Watching magazine defines it, actually they launched the concept in 2004, Generation C is a new generation of social network and mobile technology users who benefit from online tools in order to demand a more active role in the purchasing chain. As millennials, Generation C demands to be heard and won't hesitate to share advices and recommendations, whether they are positive or negative. In 2012, it's no longer the company who controls the projected brand image and the value of their service offering, but rather the tremendous power of viral recommendations. This is a time for augmented engagement strategies. Companies should strive to reach different types of customers differently, not only based on usage behavior and age segment, but also based on customers' expectations, needs, ideals, and the platforms they use to connect, communicate, and make decisions. As resulting from this slide, all age demographics are heavily and increasingly adopting disruptive technologies. As millennials, the connected consumer generation is multitasking. For example, while watching TV, 57% are also checking their emails, 44% are surfing the web or access social networks. On PCs and mobile devices, Generation C is always on. So what will be Generation C's communication preferences in the decade from now? AMEINFO forecasts that by 2020, personal and business activities will mingle seamlessly as the day will fragment into a flexible mix of personal and business activities, work, commuting, shopping, communication, entertainment. We will become the social animals 2.0, 24/7 connected. The supply and consumption of digital information will explode, and the concerns about privacy and the security of personal data will decline as consumers will perceive the benefits as outweighing the risks and as mechanisms to secure and process personal information become smarter. I also heard during Social Media World Forum in London that in the years to come, people will be more willing to share personal information just to ensure that they receive filtered and relevant marketing messages. Everywhere. Personal data such as identity, payment details, shopping preferences, interests, and membership in social communities will become widely available. Generation C will be able to access its digital life from a growing multitude of digital interfaces, requiring a fully interconnected world where services and data exist in the cloud, virtually. Telecom players that remain vertically integrated will come under substantial pressure. Thus, the telecom industry will evolve into two types of players: the efficient utility driven by fiber and wireless access technology, and the fast-moving, customer-centric software innovation powerhouses. So let's see how are telcos engaging in social media today. Very few operators use yet social media's capacity to provide rich, real-time insight into their customers' preferences and interests. Also, they don't seem to leverage some of the most important attributes of social media: engaging customers into a community that shares common values, builds emotional attachment to the brand, or attracts further customers through personal referrals. Operators are now experimenting at a small scale a mix of customer care and digital marketing tactics. They answer tweet posts in a reflexive and tactical manner that rarely addresses the underlying cause of customer dissatisfaction. They created Facebook, Twitter, or other social network accounts. I will quickly go through some use cases now. Just to mention a couple of T-Mobile's initiatives. The first one involves tweeting during a race to promote the speed of their 4G network. The race is promoted by T-Mobile Girl, the beautiful Carly Fox. The one who receives the most unique retweets during the race wins the competition. One that I particularly like is T-Mobile Angry Birds viral campaign that I will play now. So why was this campaign so successful? Because they tried to spread joy globally. With our biggest range of smartphones, you can join in the fun wherever you are. Also, the campaign reached customers that already love this popular game and who gladly shared the funny commercial further with all their friends. Customers now associate the Telco brand with this cool game, and although it was done locally, it reached a global mass of customers, having over 17 million views only on YouTube. Another interesting example comes from Telstra, who launched Blurtle, an application that allowed Facebook users to leave a 30-second voice message, which was then posted on their friend's wall. The application was quite successful. It had over 20,000 active users registered in less than 4 weeks and was preloaded on 178,000 handsets. The success of this campaign was driven by the fact that it opened up a new way for people to communicate with each other in the environment they all loved. Another campaign worth mentioning is the VG Mobile's social media campaign, A Fair Ride for All. The campaign replicates several successful Facebook games as the Treasure Hunt. I will play it shortly now for you to better understand it.
To hide. I'll change a thing for you. I hope to see you soon. Carry this heart of mine, but let it slip, don't let it fall. I'll give this gift to you.
This campaign had several elements that assured its success. A competition hub, which was extremely social media friendly, with buttons for liking, tweeting, and sharing with the world. Some awesome prizes that assured talkability and engagement with targeted audience. The bytes given away were premium and very desirable among the target audience. An idea that was out of the box, different and daring, and it enabled almost anyone to participate, even if all they did was to chatter about it. In the 3 weeks the campaign was live, nearly 100,000 visitors spent an average of 8.5 minutes on the site. The campaign reached over 500,000 people through Facebook alone, grabbing attention across Australia and the world, and best of all, during the last week of the campaign, VG Mobile experienced their best sales day ever. I will move now to Vodafone Voucher Cloud use case. Vodafone Voucher Cloud was launched as an alternative to waiting for near-field communication to take off. The concept is simple. Vodafone offers discounts and coupons from various participating retailers and uses GPS information on smartphones to locate the closest retailer with an offer for a customer, and then directs the customer to the shop by using the smartphone's digital mapping service. Users simply download the voucher into the smartphone and show it to the reader. The service started in UK in 2010 and has just started in Ireland too, and has attracted 700,000 active users and 2,000 merchants, offering 8,000 discounts or loyalty schemes. I would also like to present SK Telecom's application store use case, which is one of the most successful telco app store to date. SK Telecom is the leading South Korean operator with over 26 million subscribers and 50% of the total market share. The App Store has 200,000 applications and content items, 16 million registered users, 700 million downloads, and is more profitable than both Google Play and Apple App Store in South Korea, and is now expanding in other markets with a similar profile like Taiwan, China, and Japan. So why is this working? Because it provides contextually relevant and local language content. It is worth mentioning here that CSPs have a huge opportunity to differentiate their App Store by searching for relevant local content from local developers, having a better understanding of the local market. They are nurturing a community of local developers by providing free content registration, free certification, quick approval, less than 2 days, marketing business models, mobile ads, and by protecting the copyrights of their developers. Also, they have a strong focus on end-user experience. So what is the formula for today's cutting-edge loyalty? To engage connected consumers, operators must follow them in their own environment, including social networks, and they must optimize analytics to better understand them. In terms of systems, there are several key ingredients. An agile self-learning churn prediction system to analyze behavior data in real time and address the future likelihood of device service upgrades or renewals. A lifecycle management solution to know for each subscriber in what stage of the cycle is and to apply the right actions. The ability to launch automated targeted campaigns and a real-time loyalty management solution, as everything has to be relevant and in real time. Competition analysis. CSPs need to watch, react, and proactively challenge the competition, not to forget that pricing is still very important. Operators should be able to simulate prices and see how subscribers would be impacted by new tariffs on the market. And not the last, social network integration. Customer retention has to be extended into social networks. Properly integrated in an operator marketing mix, social networking, and Facebook in particular, can bring an enormous value from two perspectives. Operators will be able to know their customers better, and the value is huge, especially for prepaid customers, where operators don't have a lot of information besides their mobile phone number, and they will be able to engage customers with an improved customer experience, which is just one click away. And all this with huge savings in terms of marketing and IT expenditures. Facebook integration with a BSS allows the operator to provide a personalized customer experience in the environment and at the moment which is relevant to their customers. Computaris Avalanche is a Telekom extension on Facebook which connects the Facebook profile with the GSM profile, a campaign management tool on Facebook. Facebook integration provides an efficient channel to market all telco services, allowing a cost-effective way to upsell by providing relevant benefits services. Operators can bring self-care features into a user-friendly environment and avoid additional spending on upgrading CRM systems or large support call centers. This will reduce the operating costs and will also increase customer satisfaction, who increasingly want to be in control of their service usage. And there are a lot of other advantages and use cases that I can share with you offline. So what is the recommended approach? Although telcos are not ready yet to respond to all now-time expectations, they might strive to maintain their revenues and profitability in an environment where business models, customer expectations, and satisfaction drivers modify quickly. Loyalty refers to a long-term positive emotional attachment, and social environment provides the tools needed to achieve this. Retaining a customer for 1 month more is far as effective as establishing a relationship and transforming customers into brand advocates. This means that telcos should focus on aggregating, filtering, and using all information sources available to capture a deep understanding of customer value expectations and broaden the scope of their traditional services. Although it seems that consumers increasingly see satisfaction in services offered by third parties, non-telecom, telcos still hold the key to now-time marketing, and they can carefully choose partners and offer exquisite customer experience and complex innovative services that would increase the perceived value of their service offering, and consequently create long-term customer loyalty. A two-sided business model enables operators to differentiate, neutralize competition, and increase productivity. Telcos will still have a lot to offer in tomorrow's communication environment, from real-time customer data such as profile authentication, billing relationships, credibility through a trusted brand, network ownership, multi-channel customer care, to local market behavior trends knowledge. They just need to pack them efficiently and smartly choose revenue-generating partnerships. Operators must enhance their effort to communicate to their subscribers and partners that they receive a lot of value, and they should strive to create emotional connections, harnessing the power of already established social networks. Emotional is the new rational in business. Operationalize empathy, that is, caring about the customer experience in a business sustainable way. This is the key to engaging the socially aware customer who strive for a more enriching, engaged, and efficient relationship with their providers.